Greetings, everyone. At the beginning of this video, let me make a disclaimer. All my closest friends are Jamaicans, and the person I'm hanging out with happens to be a Jamaican, and I've known him for 17 years, and I'm still shocked how much I enjoy his company. I enjoy hanging with him. I enjoy spending quality time. I enjoy doing things like this with him. That's my best friend. Okay. So, what I'm saying, I'm not trying to be prejudiced towards other Jamaicans. I'm just going to speak what I notice. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I would rather just stay on the outskirt and just love these people from a distance. I find Jamaicans who live in Toronto are a lot of them are very fake. A lot of them are very Badmine. A lot of them are very extra and just give off this negative energy. Now, again, like I said, there's always exception to the rule. There are nice Jamaican people here. I happen to know some of them. But for me, I don't try to get to know anybody else, no new people, or get close to new folks from Jamaica because a lot of them are very messed up. Now, I do not go to Jamaican function for one reason and one reason only. I always feel very uncomfortable around most of these Jamaican people, and it's primarily the women. The women are just so extra. You go to an environment that is supposed to be a fun place, like a wedding or some birthday party or something, and the women come in and they're not like Jamaican women in Jamaica. Everybody's there. Everybody, looks nice, but you have these ones who come in, and especially the ones who think that they have more education, or they live in a better neighborhood, or they're more financially stable. They have their head up, nose turned up, acting all arrogant. OMG. So the average person would invite me to some Jamaican function and I would refuse to go because I just can't deal with all that negativity. Then the next thing I'm going to talk about are the kind of Jamaicans who are very show off, very extra, who think that they're better than other people. Now, if you happen to have one of these persons as your friend, and let's put that as your friend in quotation, when everything is going well with them, they will find time to pick up the phone and call you and show off themselves. I used to have these acquaintances where when they would call to celebrate, a new job or the purchase of a new home, I'd get so excited about it. I'd be so happy. And regardless of what was going on in my life, when they would call to celebrate, it would give me hope, but not some of these ones. Some of these ones, when they think nothing now go on for you, this is when they call and they tell you the whole story. And I never knew that until my best friend pointed it out. One time, my friend said to me, "You seem like you don't realize what's going on. You're so happy and celebrating. They're just showing off on you." And I was like, "Really?" And then when I examined and did my little test, went into the field study and did a little test, I realized that was the case. Let me give you a good example. There's a lady who used to always call me and tell me about her purchasing a home in Jamaica, finished paying off her home here in Canada. And I was used to be so happy for her and so excited. And she'd always tell me when she's shipping things back home and the cost of this or that, or when she's in Jamaica renovating. I love those stories. And after a while, when things start changing for me, and then I would share a little bit of my glad tiding with her, I noticed I wouldn't hear from her. And then a long time would pass, and she would call me with a big brand new story of adventures and wonderful things. And I'd be so excited. I always got caught up into it. But I never realized that she was telling me all these things just to show off. Because she's saying, "Not now, go on for you. let me rub it in, until one day I did my test and realized. And when I shared my glad tidings with her, she had nothing else to say. She didn't call back. So, this is why for me, I stay to myself, and I'm not so much involved in the Jamaican community setting in Toronto. And I have a Facebook account, and I don't want Jamaican people on my Facebook, because a lot of times when they come on there, they just come to fast into your business. They just want to know what's going on with you. So they will send you a friend request. And when you do it, they will not talk to you. They only want to see what's happening in your life. Disgusting. And heavens help them if the good God shines some blessing on them. All of a sudden, they think they're better than the person that they grew up with. So you have these Jamaicans in Toronto, for example, who would tell you, I don't want to go to Jamaica. I could never go to Jamaica, not even in a five-star hotel. It's not good enough for me. I could never stay in a five-star hotel for more than a week. These are the ones I avoid them like the plague. Okay. And you do have these Jamaicans also, like if they think anything good is happening for you, they're going to avoid you too. So to piggyback on the one I mentioned earlier, where when things are good with them and they're sharing your story, they're sharing their story with you, and if you start to have good tidings, that's it, you're not hearing from them again. So recently someone called me who is like that, and she was telling me all the wonderful things that were happening for her. And I have celebrated this person for many, many, many years. But I tested the theory on her, and I shared something with her, and I never heard from her again. But it was a test. The thing that I shared with her was just a test. All right. Then I'm also going to say that the Jamaicans, a lot of them are so rude and so disrespectful. So let's say, give you a concrete example. You go into an establishment where you have cashiers that are from Jamaica. They have no manners whatsoever. They talk to people in the most disrespectful ways. And I hear stories from some of my Jamaican friends about what it's like for them working in certain environments, working around other Jamaican people. There's always a level of toxicity, especially as it relates to, people who are in the nursing field. You got Jamaicans reporting other Jamaicans, causing them to get written up on the job. The toxicity is just off the charts. So I love my people, but I'd rather stay on the periphery looking in. I don't want to live in a community that is considered a Jamaican community, because as much as I would want to build with my own people, unfortunately, doing business, from my experience, doing business with my own people has always left me with a very bitter taste in my mouth. People always trying to scam me, people always coming with their lies. I'm not saying all the Jamaicans, I'm just saying the ones that I encountered. So if you're having a better experience with Jamaican people, bless up yourself, but it has not been mine. There's always an attitude to undermine. So you also have those Jamaicans who would say, okay, come to you, ask you for your advice, whatever advice, spiritual, financial, whatever. And they will never respect what you have to say when you are a Jamaican. In fact, you have some Jamaican people, when they come to you like they're asking for advice, they just want to hear their own voice, hear the sound of their own voice. That you say to yourself, why would you be asking me my opinion on something if you already have your mind made up? And then they are the Jamaicans. And these are women. We're talking about women. I'm not going to talk about the Jamaican men in this. We're talking about women in this. There are these women who, if they don't want any man, men are the worst thing that could ever happen to them. Until they find somebody, then your ears can't eat grass. They're not very honest with the way they share their stories, because when they're not in a relationship, they have the worst thing to say about men, and they talk about being independent and how they don't need one. But when they find a man, that's all you're hearing about. But then there are also on the opposite spectrum Jamaican women who are so centered, like the whole life story is all built about men. So you got those who don't want a man, but it's a lie, and you have those who have a man who cannot be without a man, and your relationship with them, you can't talk about anything else but man. And sometimes I wonder, how can you be with someone and say you love this person and they tend to be so disloyal? You're in a relationship with a man, you said he's all these horrible things, and you're not breaking up and you're still staying with the person, and they'll come and they try to chat you, but you have to be very careful. Some of these women have their men sitting beside them, and they'll strike up conversation with you because they're having some problem with their boyfriend, and allow the man to hear them say all kinds of bad things. And if you're stupid enough to say negative things because of what the person is saying and you're feeding on that, they will make enemies of you. So a lot of Jamaican women will talk bad things about their partner and allow their partner to hear your opinion. So I don't trust a lot of Jamaican women when it comes to relationship stories. Not drawing me into their thing. That's why I make it a point of duty not to say anything negative to people about their relationship, but they'll set you up that way. It is a shame that we're seeing this, because this community that we're driving through is made up of 90 plus percent of people from India or Pakistan or just the Asian community. And I'm sure they have their own differences, but they build together. It's so difficult to build together with our own people because of just how we are. And I understand some of this is, it's deep, but for heaven's sake, we have the ability to change our circumstances. We have the ability to step over some of the things that have happened in the past, because yes, we've had a lot of traumas in our life, but we can do better if we choose to do better. So, a lot of our Jamaican people are very toxic in their nature, and I'm not making excuses for it. I'd rather not deal with it. You know, um, when we're going through this community, and as always, manifesting the things that I desire in my life through thinking, to writing it down and walking through the process, I just wish our people would understand the importance of working together, the importance of building together, the importance, of supporting each other. When I'm out and about with my children going for walks, I see these individuals within the same community with the grandma and the grandpa, and mom and dad. They are family oriented. And, I would wish to see more of that in our community. But like I said, I have gone to a function, and when I get there, I'm so uncomfortable. I can't wait to leave. People always showing off, always extra. You're wondering why, for what reason, you know? And imagine some of them just own a car and they're so extra. Imagine if they had these mansions, they would never talk to you. That's one of the things I noticed with people, even in the church. If they feel like they have a better job than you or they live in a nicer house than you, they treat the people who they deem to be less than themselves. So awful. Failing to realize that, listen, anybody's circumstance can change. I've been at the bottom of the pile, and I've seen how God has blessed me in so many ways. And I know what the Holy Spirit has done for me will be done for other people too. But they're limited in their mindset. So, truth be told, I don't really hang out in the Jamaican community that much. I try to support certain Jamaican business, and so on and so forth. But I pretty much stay by myself, uh, primarily because of the attitude, because of the bad mind, because of the showing off. Mm-mm. And I find Jamaican people get along a lot better than Jamaican people here in Canada. It seems just more loyal. They seem more loyal in Jamaica. I'm not saying they don't have these same problems there. I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe they're like that there too. Let me just leave it at that. Yes, so we're going through the community, and it's just so beautiful, so peaceful. And I'm just saying to myself, wow, we are sometimes prejudiced towards some of these individuals from these different countries. They're immigrants just like us, and they managed to come here and to garner a great deal of respect by building together, by staying together, something that we could learn. But wow, what a thing like trauma, what a thing like the number that has been done to our people, and the fact that they refuse to take a leaf out of some other person's book. You know, the showing off and the arrogance and turning the nose up on each other and thinking that we're better than someone because we have few opportunities. Just so ridiculous. Hope you've enjoyed this video. For those of you who asked for vlogs, well, here are the vlogs. And I'm just talking as we go through this beautiful community. In the comment section, talk to me. Tell me what you think. If you have similar experience, if you agree or disagree. If you like the video, don't forget to like at the end of the video. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you want more of this content. Stay blessed, everybody. Have a blessed day.